And I am an idiot. I just realized that I have been talking the entire time through a microphone that has been muted. How is everybody going today? It wouldn't be one of my streams. Alright, so what I was saying when I was starting this, I may need to stop the stream and drop it back to 720p. I was doing really good on the internet tonight. I thought, yep, cool, we'll be able to stream. I was going to stream last night, but the net went to shit. And, unfortunately, the second I hit the start button, it looks like the arse just dropped out of the NBN, so that's fantastic. But we'll see what happens. Rogue Trader is a graphically pretty game, but it is like a turn-based isometric RPG, so, or a classic video game RPG in the style of like Baldur's Gate. So we're not working on some really fast action here, so it might be okay. So, to Buster, howdy Mags, how are the contacts? Doing absolutely fantastic. My apologies for not having done a video on them so far. I actually got a little bit sick right after getting them, and then I've had some family stuff pop up. I was actually down in Melbourne over the end of the weekend, and up until yesterday afternoon, or yesterday evening. So, I haven't been able to get anything done. That's why there hasn't been videos up, that's why there was no Cold Waters. I had to rush down to Melbourne, which was not expected, but family events are what they are, and things happen, and you need to go to them. Right, I need to get this into a better position so I can actually read chat properly. We can do that. There we go. Cool. So, we're running Rogue Trader here tonight. I just waited a little bit for everybody to catch in here at the moment. This is the Rogue Trader beta for Warhammer 40k. For those who haven't seen it, this is very much a beta at the moment. I won't be playing through the entire game. I'm only going to really probably do one, maybe two streams on this, playing through the tutorial, or at least that's the plan, just to sort of show off what's here. I will say, before we begin, I have 71 hours in this so far. I have not completed the main campaign of what's in the beta, and I don't think the beta includes the entire game. I do have a thing for doing side quests. I think I've done everything in the game up to the point that I'm at, but I have not completed the game yet. So I'm 71 hours into a beta and I haven't finished it. This thing is huge. However, it's also not finished. Very much not finished. There are some pretty serious bugs on parts of the game. In fact, I will show you. Hopefully we do not have to use this, but I do have a little mod installed on at the moment. I bring up this one here. It is called Toybox. Now, Toybox allows us to essentially cheat in the game if we wish to, but it also allows us access to a whole bunch of background tools that we can use to get past some of the bugs. So for examples of where I've used this, or had to use this to progress, is I have run into quests where you are supposed to receive a quest item that is required to advance a series of quest lines. And unfortunately, while you complete the quest, you don't receive the item, and so the entire thing essentially locks you out of being able to progress. So you can use that to give yourself the item that you need in order to be able to progress. So that's almost a requirement once you get further in. The tutorial section that we'll be playing tonight plays perfectly fine. I haven't had any real bugs in or any real major issues with it. Everything seems to be perfectly functional there. But as you get deeper into the game, you start running into sections where there's whole sections of text or only placeholder text visible. There's items that are just, again, they just don't give them to you. Certain reward features on certain sections of the game are not implemented. And there's some bugs and some areas where there's definitely holes in the content missing at the moment. But that's what a genuine beta is all about. This is not a complete game. We're just doing some pretty hardcore testing and having a look. So, yes, the menu style is fantastic. The entire game is fantastic. So we'll go through this now, and we're going to start an entirely new game. So, main story. We take up the mantle of the Rogue Trader, a sign of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over the trade, protectorate, and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of the Von Valancius. I'm never really sure if that's a correct pronunciation. as it faces multiple dangers, from the traitor amongst its ranks to the numerous enemies seeking to destroy the most daring and brave amongst humanity. It is up to you to hold the reins of a shattered protectorate and forge a new path for the rogue trader dynasty that finds itself in the vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. The stakes rise as you cross the paths of the most powerful adversaries and rivals that chase their own goals in the darkness of the Coronis expanse. Dun dun dun. For those who know 40k lore, I've encountered almost every faction in the game so far. Where I'm up to at the moment, I have yet to meet the Space Marines. I do know that he is in the beta. I haven't got to him yet on my playthrough. But I have fought every single faction of Chaos. I have run into TridentZ. I have fought Cultists. The Eldari, or the Eldar, the Drakari, the Dark Eldar. Everyone. There is no faction... the Tau. The Tau is the only faction I haven't run into yet. That is off the bottom of the screen for some reason. Oh, that's okay. We might have to make a small screen adjustment here in a second. Something is just not quite right. Alright. Although, maybe everybody else could see it fine. Alright, it's only on my end because of the way I've got my screen set up. Okay, that's fine. I'll deal with it. Alright, so game difficulty. We are just going to play on normal. Core is fully functional. So, for those of you who have not played an Owlcat game before, they don't fuck around. If you turn the difficulty level up to full, you will have to min-max every single character and play every single turn perfectly, otherwise you will get your ass handed to you. Normal can be difficult some of the time if you do something stupid, but most of the time you'll breeze through it. Core is hard. Turn the difficulty sliders up or past core, and there's achievements for managing to complete games from Owlcat on core. We're just going to play it on normal, just for a bit of fun. But if you're looking to make things as hard on yourself as you possibly can, the option definitely exists. Alright, so we have three standard rogue traders that we can play so far, but we are going to create a custom, and I'm actually going to let you guys select some of it. Now, this is where you'll start seeing some of the beta sections in this. So, appearance-wise, well, actually, we'll let you guys decide. Male or female, what are we going to play? If it plays like Fallout and tells stories like Warhammer, then I'm good at it? Yes. If I was to get anybody to build a new version of Fallout in the traditional style, like not Bethesda's first-person style, the traditional Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, it would be Owlcat, and I would get them to copy this, because they fucking nailed it. There's parts of this that feel like Fallout, but in a good way. Male? Alright, we will go for a male captain. I like trying to make the characters match up here, so we have a couple of options. And we will set the appearance after. Now, actually, before we pick this, we should probably pick our... I'll quickly run through. We got portraits, we've got our body selector where we can pick our sizes. We will play a male character, but I like to match things up. You'll see what I mean in a second. Hairstyles, eyebrows, beard options. I think there will be more added. There's options for tattoos, but there is only a certain number that are actually available at the moment, so they're obviously adding more there. And there's the option to add implants, but again, a lot of them don't seem to do anything. There's no implant attached to them, so I don't think the graphic or the animation is attached yet. There's a couple that do. So if I bring this up to 2, you'll see there's a bit of an implant just here, but it's not much, and we've only got 2 voice options for the moment. But we'll pick our homeworld next, and then we'll go back and create the character, because this does change a couple of things. Origin story is the one we want to do first. I'm not sure why they put that here, because this changes it. So we have Astra Militarum Commander. Now this one is completed. This is your, well, Astra Militarum Commander. You are playing a Imperial Guard. Most of your skills, your automatic skills, focus around ballistic skill, perception, athletics, and you've got medical. So you're a trooper. You're good with las rifles. You shoot things. You have the Commissar, And you'll see, this is why I want to do this first, because this selects part of what your character is going to look like by default, and then you make things line up. So you've got the commissars. The same basic idea, except you're going for more coercion, your weapon skill is more melee focused, and you're more of a commander. Fellowship is a group manipulation stat. Vagabond is your pirates. Now, this is where you start seeing some of the beta stuff. You get little tabs like this in here. Work in progress, this origin is missing some content. The full version of this origin will be available in the release of the game. So this is not complete yet. You can play the character and some of the abilities are in place, but it is not finalized, it's not balanced, and some things don't work. And some are worse than others. You've got a Minister and Priest. That one seems to be all here. I haven't played this one at all so far. Focuses on toughness, willpower, law for the Imperium, and Medicaid. Naval Officer, that one functions. There's actually a female character art that lines up with that one perfectly, and again, it seems to be complete. But the Noble is not complete, Origin is missing some. And unfortunately, I really wanted to play the Psychers, but the Psychers, Biomancer and Diviner, do not work. You can play them, some of the ability is in, as I understand it, once you get about more than 10 hours through the progression, you essentially run out of stuff that they can do, and everything after that is placeholder and not balanced. Also, their art isn't finished. If you put any armor on this character, this suit will disappear and you'll play the entire game without pants. So, yeah, the art isn't complete on this yet. Ship name is the most profitable enterprise. Yes, I've seen that one. I actually went, because again, Star Wars fan, I went with the Errant Venture. Even rogue traders will have a hard time seeing Space Marines in lore. Yes, you run into them as part of the quest, but you hear rumours about them being around earlier, but you don't immediately run into them. Alright, seeing Commissar. Alright, Commissar is going to be it. Alright, we will go with the Commissar. That's cool. The melee in this is pretty good, which is understandable considering Alcat's history with the Pathfinder games. Now, we will go back. Appearance. We have a couple that would be suitable, I think. That's more of Imperial Navy. Female Commissar, male Commissar. We've got the mustache going there. And probably make that work as well as something a little bit different. We'll go with that, even though... No, let's go with the mustache. We'll go with the mustache. Alright, so we will change... Yeah, that looks a little bit stronger. We've got a body type option so we can bulk up. Or we can get a little bit thin. We'll leave that at about standard. Yeah, a little bit too pale. Yeah, leave him about there, that'll be fine. Alright, hair options. Not that we're going to see a whole lot of it. Just go for something silky smooth. We'll leave it dark. And this is what I liked. This is my little personal thing. I like my character's appearance to line up with whatever portrait. So yes, in Alcat games, I am a sucker for custom portraits to make this work. And we will want... There's a little bit of bush there, but none of those quite line up. Yeah, that's probably the best one we've got so far. Now, tattoos. We do have to add one of the ones that's actually available. And where is it? No, that's the scars, my bad. That one. It does have a scar across the face. So we'll put that over the left eye. That one lines up. And we will pop an implant on the right temple, because that's about all we've got. And it's got to be male bold. Now, Homeworld. This adds some modifiers as well on where we're from. So we've got Voidborn, which isn't really appropriate for a Commissar. Hive World, a Forge World. A couple of those. Now, some of these aren't complete and balanced as well. So the Death World is fine, which you get the ability Survival Instinct. And you get modifiers for strength, negative for fellowship. Voidborn, work in progress. This homeworld is missing some content, so some of the modifiers and bonuses there don't work. The one I've been going for so far, Promotion, Feudal, that one there I think it was. Yeah, that's probably, well, that one there's not really complete either. Imperial World Military Traditions. We'll go with that one. So you can see this is what the complete ones look like. So we have a whole bunch of bonus talents down here as well. Now, the last one is the Triumphs. Now, this is not in the game at all. I don't even know what this does. This is a mechanic that is just not in place in the beta at this point. Same with Darkest Hour. I have no idea what this is either. I'm sure it'll make complete sense in the final game, but at the moment this is not a thing. Doctrines. This is where you sort of select your class. Now we've gone the Commissar, we're going to be going for melee, so our primary focus is going to be on fighter. We're going to be hitting things with our sword, because that's appropriate. Once we complete this, which there's 20 levels in, and each level you get to unlock new abilities and increase your stats, you then get the option to select a secondary out of these ones. The Assassin, which is damage, melee, close range. Vanguard, which is your tank set of skills, specific tank, and then you've got damage ranged. I think there's some more of these that will need to be added as well, because these make sense for all your physical damage characters, but they do not make sense for, say, a Psyker. These don't really work. In addition, some of these aren't complete as well, so Leader is missing content, and I believe Adept is missing content, so only Marksman and Fighter are actually functional at this point. And then you've got your pretty standard layout for exactly how points are going to be spent. So since we are doing a melee fighter, we're going to want 45 on strength, roughly. Probably push 40 on toughness, agility 35, intelligence 25. It's lower than I would like, but we'll have other characters supplement that. We want to pump weapon skill. Probably 45 on weapon skill. And you know what? I will put 5 points. No, we'll go 5 into agility as well. So that'll give us movement points and melee damage and increase our physical toughness. The strength bonus to 45. 45 is our strength is the hardest stat, well, one of the hardest stats to actually get increased. 45 is your minimum stat required for heavy armor. So I need that there. So if we come across any heavy armor, I can actually equip it once I've got the skills. And then we have our ship. Now, I will... Actually, I kind of like that. The Invictum Erebus. And I believe this is a sword class. Because I got my access via the alpha, I think I have access to a different ship hull that you can select here. I'm not sure if there will be more options available to select between once the game is out or added later. But for the moment, that's what we've got access to. So we'll go with that, just because I'm taking too long and talking too much, so we should probably move on. And actually, you know what? Let's just randomly pop a name as well. Seth. Oh, come on. Really? That's it? Percival. I was hoping for something that sounds kinda... I don't know. None of these are looking really 40k, are they? Seth seems to be really popular. Lazarus. Yeah, we'll go with that. Lazarus, the Commissar. Alright, let's get things going. I see Dotter's pants run. It looks stupid. It's clearly... They just haven't got a base animation for those characters yet, for a clothing base at all. and there is no option to apply pants or anything else. You've got the armor piece for the chest, and then you get boot options, which are another bonus, but nothing for the legs. So you run around, and the armor looks bad. It's... don't know if it's just me, I'm getting bad stutters. Yeah, it could be the net. As I said at the start of this, I'm slightly concerned the net may go to shit. Or may have already gone to shit. Now, there's no voice acting on this because there is a shitload of voice lines in this. There are entire sections of gameplay where you can spend an hour and you're not shooting anyone. You're talking, discussing, negotiating. Yeah, it's a full-on RPG. So, Conrad, an excellent place for contemplation. The man who has approached you is gazing down the depths of the vast temple on one of the lower decks. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An implicable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with 40k, this has the standard feature that we see both from the Battletech game, and it's in all of Alcat's games as well. Anytime there is a word or a task or a phrase or anything that is particularly related to the universe and the lore, you just mouse over it, and it gives you a pop-up to explain exactly what is going on. I will turn these tutorials off because I don't need them anymore. So, our responses here. Now, for somebody who mentioned Fallout before, is this looking familiar to you? A truly awe-inspiring sight. Frankly, such an excess can be tiring at times. All this ostentatious luxury is laughable pretense. It's enough to make one think that the architects meant to compensate rather than glorify. Have we met, or do you have a particular reason for disturbing me? Oh, little side note, you can absolutely go to Chaos and become a heretic in this, and you can play the game as the biggest cunt in the world if you want to. You can be a completely honourable, do the right thing, and still play just a horrible human being. It's great. Alright, so what do you think, guys? How are we going to start? There's a few options here for different themes. Let you guys have a bit of a read and have a bit of a think. What is going to be the theme for our commissar? Is he going to be a snarky prick and rude? Is he going to be a little bit snobby? Is he actually going to be a venerable worshipper of the God Emperor? Holy crap, Assassin Commissar for the win. Yep, you can absolutely do that. Instead of a bolt pistol, the Stalker Bolter. At this point, I haven't run into one of those. I've got plasma pistols. I've got a couple of upgraded bolter options that I've run into. Lots of Xenos weaponry that you can use if you have the right skills as well. Some of them quite nasty. Three sounds awfully close to heresy. I said I'm leaving it to you guys. What do you think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick me a theme and I'll run with it. Option 1, let's have the good run for starters. Okay, let's do this. A truly awe-inspiring sight. We can change that as it goes on, depending on what we come into, but we can start off with that. The man nods in satisfaction as your words have confirmed some thought he had. That is the purpose of all temples to the God Emperor, to inspire awe and reverence, for it is the duty of his servants to persevere in their tireless service until they are presented with a chance to give their very life to the master of humanity. He sighs and turns to you. Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad I have no idea how to pronounce that. We need... Actually, no, I won't call him that until a little bit later. You'll find out why. Master of Whispers in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader, Theodore von Valancius, at your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking to you in person before. He bows at the head and focuses his attention on you. So, my name is Lazarus, Divisional Commissar of the Officio Prefectus Lazarus. Yep, we'll go with the full name. Xanathor. Nice. I didn't pick that. My regards, Commissar. Finding you was a difficult task, given your parents' fate and the upbringing in the Schola Prognenium. My pronunciation's going to suck through this, guys. I apologize in advance. Truly, our meeting is an act of providence, is it not? Volkavir, we'll go with that, smiles faintly, but you're not sure if it's directed at you. I'll be frank with you. You may forget your family name, no matter who gave it to you or what its origins are. From this moment, you and the other candidates were brought aboard the Void ship. Your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius. You carry the burden of an heir of the house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with her ladyship. Bear it with honour. So, Lord Captain, a strange title for Lady Theoria. That's a really odd answer, because you should know what a Lord Captain is. Because that's the title for, well, not just every rogue trader, the captain of every vessel in the Imperial Navy. Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here? You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What is your responsibilities? Tell me about the one on whose ship I have found myself. You say I'm one of the rogue trader's heirs and there's another candidate. Straight to the point, I like that one. I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let's address it. Go with this one. There are, and you will meet them soon enough. Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here? So that you may fulfill your blood duty, Lazarus. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader in deeds blessed by the God Emperor. I see that you are shocked. Yes, you understand correctly. Lady Theodora's authority exceeds and supersedes that of whom you have obeyed before. The Lord Captain's power is so great that she is capable of performing unthinkable feats, such as changing the fate of a servant of the Imperium. Your fate. You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities? To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informants who serve the interest of House Valancius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of the others. I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let's address it. But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patronage, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't had an opportunity to speak. It's been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and the Master Elrad von Valancius are conversing in the observation platform located in one of the wings of the officer's deck. Let's join them there. I shall accompany you. Alright. So that's our opening establishment.
Victory awaits.
Now, it is a full 3D world, and the art, I'm not sure how well it's going to be coming through, considering the connection is a bit shitty, but the art style here is absolutely fantastic. Now, we do have some interactables. These are just so we can play around and experiment with interacting with the environment. So start poking at the Mechanicus's computer over here and getting it to change colors and just that kind of stuff. There's nothing, I'm not sure if they're going to put information up here that will be useful at some point, but for the moment this is just more of a give you the opportunity to play around with parts of the world and actually have a look. The detailing on the art is great. They nailed this.
It's about time.
The candles, small wisps of smoke. And as you go around, you'll see members of the crew conversing. You also see the Mechanicus performing rites with their incense. Occasionally people worshipping to the God Emperor. You know, just doing the things that you would do on a rogue trader ship. Master of Whispers, it's an emergency. Some of these can pop up and out far too quickly for you to be able to actually read them off. Basically, the rogue trader likes to keep some pets, and one of them got out.
Feel my wrath!
Ah, shit, I was worried about that. Alright, give me one moment, guys. I am going to try something here, because clearly my net's gone down. I'll try and continue this through. I'm going to have to stop the stream for it, so I'm just going to leave the game paused here for a split second. We'll just, I didn't actually mean to progress that turn, but anyways. What I'm going to do is quickly stop the stream, and I'm going to drop this down to 720p and see if that fixes it. If that doesn't, I'll do it for this game, but if that doesn't work, I might have to stop. Or I might have to do this in a video later on in the week, and we'll see whether or not this can work. Alright. 2 seconds. Don't go anywhere. We'll see what happens.